You know what? I've never in my life have ever heard music this good. When you listen to every single word and are on the path of matrix, which means the words go to numbers, go to sounds, go to shapes, go to situations. But they're singing out the words and the words and the letters. They're telling me the words. I don't need to do any work because I've done the work. I know where it fits in the matrix now. So I got the other view from the number side only in the sounds of the music they sing and the words of choice. So this is the way it goes. I was playing with my glasses today, and I was thinking, listen to this. Mercury doesn't play. Mercury is poked by number 2. She starts at number 1, Mercury, okay? But don't forget, in every house, there's a Mercury. I'm going to try and explain this to you, but before I explain this, Mr. Rogue Archer, or why don't you just call yourself the Rogue H that owns all the letters? Don't you know anything about Archer? A&R, Angel Resident. It is the last, it is the omega of all A's, and it sounds off with an AR. Totality of the first and totality of the last 8 totals to 18, 18th letter in the alphabet. And number 7 walking with a head on it. And inside the head, it's got one eye to think as it keeps on walking forward. You ever notice where your brain is as you're walking? So we're getting into today, and he says in here, I have to take off, I don't have to take off, I'm taking off my glasses. And I'm looking up in here where I marked it down today. What day is it today? First of all, one of the biggest days is the ET, 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 ET. You know why? Because this is what happens with ET. This in the center is E, and the head is the T in the 20 worlds. We got to come down from here. You got to come down from here to here to here to here. We're going bowling. But you know what's funny about this? Everybody gets it wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here, the way it touches, you see the opening space? They all count 2. If you think there's nothing here, there's more than nothing. But I said I was going to do Rogue Archer. You see, Archer, or Asher, Arbat, Chaba, Chamesh, Sheva, Shmona, Tesher, Asher, Shmona, Tesa, Eser, 8, 9, 10. So that would say 7 in my book, because fuck, it is my book. I'm the only one doing it. Fuck. No, I'm sorry, not today, because now I'm onto the Archer. The first actual A is the H, but it said is ACHE. Just take out the H, you got an Ace Archer. You got Robin Hood coming in for the save. Never did hear another Robin Hood out there, did we? The only thing that really came out here, Robin for the save, was Robin Williams. Couldn't decide on which last name he wanted first. When he was at will, he was fine. But when he's being robbed, he wasn't so fine, and he wasn't at will. He wasn't at will to the one who steals. He's a Robin Williams. Oh, is it fun to play with all these words? All you got to do is move over 1 letter. You ever see those little games? They have 9 numbers here, and you keep moving 1, but you're all fucked up. You know what you have to do? They're all in front of you. You got the whole answer. But how do you get this one over here? All about lines, moves, and dots, preparation of the number you see. Although you see the number, right? When you move that number, he becomes perfect. He becomes 1 because the whole boat is moving. And you know what? Just like the ducks, they're going to take the number and they're going to turn it this way and then this way. And they're going to put the other ducks in front. Because they couldn't hear the quack in the back. So when they couldn't react to the first quack, the second quack, the last set of ducks before the end ducks, when they knew they couldn't hear anymore, right, they called back to the front, told them to slow down. So all these guys who were going slower can now move into the front of the deck. And at this point, they have to turn on an angle because they're going to say which side is going first. Because when you turn on an angle, just like driving a car around an angle, have you ever noticed you're at the stop sign, it's on your right. You got to move to the right, straight, or left. Now, if there's a guy coming the opposite way that wants to go the same way as you, you're making your right, he would be making a left. Hey, man, don't make a left. Where are you going? It's a right-hand turn. Well, fuck, he's in front of you coming your way. For him, it's a left-hand turn. And not only that, he has to come from his way all the way up to your angle, and then you both can make the right-hand turn, except he's still on the left side of the part of the street, which is actually the right-hand part of the street. He wants to make a left-hand turn, but he's going to stay right. Next to the sidewalk, if he goes left, he drives into the other cars. Okay, what day are we on right now? First of all, Thursday and Tuesday. Okay, if you want to join my game, I'm going to make it very easy for you. Every time I come out of here, listen to a few words, just like you're playing Show'em. But you know what? When you write them down, you take part, you get paid off on every phone call. And every phone call you make is inside your mind just to get your pen and write it on a page. Tuesday and Thursday both have the letter U. Put that in the category as what has and what doesn't have a U. Put them on two different pages, because there's a lot of words without U, and there's some words with U in it, like the F word, like an FU. But in French, they put it together, they go, foo, you're crazy. Wow, Kung Fu. Ah, now they're taking classes. Thank God we don't extend it. I'm starting to get hungry. Now we just say food. Just add the D, which is the devil of all. What do you eat? What do you eat? So I have to get to where this thing was. And also, Earth and Mars do not support the letter U. Okay? They do not. Now, if there's a Mercury, okay, inside, because Mercury is the three ball, okay, in red, which is the one ball in horse, which is the one horse in horse racing in both racetracks. So right away I know where the connect is, 1 to 1. Because when you come down a level, you don't stay in the same row. You move over one row in Rubik's Cube. Now you're in the 5 area. And that's where the ace is. That's where the 5 is. That's where the 3 is. That's where the 9 is. So it's not me. It's the deck of cards. Blame it on these guys, whoever made these guys. Because this is what it can do, these cards. If you can make it good enough, like the egg, if you have all the right bubbles. I was taught this in a dream. It was crazy. I'd wake up and I'd be all fucked up. What am I supposed to be doing? And all of a sudden, I'm starting to move my hand, and wow, that looks pretty cool to me. 4 eggs, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. Imagine this. This is you. You go to the doctor back in the 60s, because don't forget, United States of Amer, of an ocean, a ka. A ka is ka for Canada, part of a homeland. Canada is known by the Indians as a homeland. Now they got homeland securities out there. Now, I haven't watched the show. I know my father is hyped up and for me to watch it, and I feel deeply into my heart of other things. I pray for my nephew. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's just hard on the family. I can see what's going on. I see what's going on. I know what's going on. I hate it. I haven't called, and that's even worse. You know, I know there's going to be a bubble that's gone once I call. But I see right now, and I don't see that. You know what? I just want them to understand in my heart that it's there. And now am I doing it towards myself? Let's forget about this. Let's go back to the U's. Now, this is what we got to remember. Earth is on a V corner, a life corner. In tic-tac-toe, the number 3 position is an open position V. You can also call it an L. L and V says Queen, Creation, Life. All of a sudden, it's worth 15. 5 and 1 is 6. Man's alive on Earth. But wait a second, what about the 9? Now he's down in Pluto. You bring him up a little bit in between Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune, and Pluto, and he's in between nowhere. The only thing he can best be is part of the moon in that position. That position, I'm jumping all over the place. That position is right here. You understand? In between 5, 4, 7, and 8. Okay, I'm going to stay on one side in between 5, 4, 7, and 8. And there's intersections here. Okay, there's places you can go for intersections. Anyways, so you go up in the middle of here. This is 4, this is 8. In between would be a value at 2. Here is 7. Here is 5. In between is a value of 1. You get a position number 21. And on the dice, 1 to 6, it equals 21. But this value point between everything is 6. The spirit of 76, 56, 76. 56 is the most you can get on 2 dice. And 76 is what you get with the 1. 1 and 6 make 7. And 6, because you're both going with the same 6. Right now in the Hebrew calendar, it's 5773. Oh my God, this is such insanity. Insanity. It's crazy. Oh my God, it's crazy. Get back to that in a minute. I put on the headphones that God makes you born with. See this? Your head goes in here. Here's your one eye. And now you go forward with a face. But it all goes back to this, my friends. That, my friends, you take these 2 fingers, you press against your eyes, and you try and look a little bit into a cone. You will see a light and a darkness continue in the back. Try and keep your eyes not too far away on a perfect angle, and that darkness will stay there, but it'll start to sparkle. Eventually, you might see pictures. And if you're good enough, you can make it stop. I haven't been able to do that yet. But is it good for you or not? Well, you don't see me doing it online, right? So I guess I don't do it that often. So now we got the U letter. You know what I like about young people in French? They say jeune. When they eat breakfast, they say déjeuner, which means they, or a set of dice, a jeune, a young one, and a nose, one who's smart. Déjeuner, breakfast. If you split it apart, jeune, J-E, says I in French. Un says one. It says I'm one. There's so much stuff. Bowling. You want to hear how bowling works and why there's 12 frames? Listen to this. Listen to this. It's a 10, 10, 10 world. Okay? That's your upper triangle. This will take you in Monopoly from on my position of visiting jail and free parking. We go down over here. We're on the train track. Choo, 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 choo. Train number 109. 9 and 1 is 10, right? Train number 109 makes 10. Where is train 109, my friends? Find train number 109. I want to know what they were on Spanish train. Don't forget the best hand is not ace king. It's a royal flush. And the R, the angel resident, is that flush of light, bringing you and spirit all to heaven. That's the word flush. Royal, or backwards, the Orioles, the Blackbirds, orange and black Halloween. We look at it the other way, the good way, the colory way. Bringing back time. What was that word again? What was that word again? Royal flush. I'm gonna count out what it is, okay? Royal flush. FL, in between is the U. So that means 6-3, man's creation face, because it's an FL. The F is the face, and her is the body. All hearts, right? Okay, 6-3, 3, 1 and 9, and 8. Oh, that's so cool. Look. 9 and 8 is 9 times 8 is 72. Okay, 7 and 2 make the 9 birth. Goes back to this one. What's in between? The same 2 numbers that started everything. 1 and 3. Spirit of creation. He brought them together, which brought them down. Which means, in bowling, so now you have 3 strikes. Now you have an open row here. The space between here and here. You have to make a space, 4, 5, and 6. You take 3 more here. Now you have 6 strikes. Then you have 7 strikes. Then you have 8 strikes. Then you have 9 strikes. But you also have to have down here. This one has to protect this one. This one has to be in between. This one has to protect this one. And my paper, I ran out of paper, so I didn't mark it. But there's two more, and there's got to be two more here. 4, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2. This is the flat. You understand? There's one is bigger than the other one. This is the middle. See number 20 here? This is the middle. The same thing as the middle of the roulette wheel. 10 and 10 worlds, bringing both worlds together. They pass the target over here into the second Rubik's Cube. Number 41, the Mediterranean. I believe that we have been marked, okay? They have marked us. It's on us. It's a little animal inside of us. They learned it from back in the days of Aldous Huxley. This is the way I see it. One of my revelations today was this. As much as I dislike royalty, because I don't see anything good in it, okay, I also see this as a game. They're allowed to stay here, but they're actually not supposed to participate. They're supposed to collect their deeds because it's the United States of America, Canada. Americanada. What do you think they say in America? It's America. What's a ca? Ca. What is it, a bird or something? It's Americanada, man. What do you think we got Mount Royal for? We got every single name they got in New York, but ours is all in French. But I know English and French, and I also know how to play with words. I mean, we mix our paints up a little bit, don't we? We cut one close. I mean, the paint is close to the next one. One of what you did was close. Either you divided something, or you connected it together, but something was already touching that line before. You're right, it's only the tape now. Of course. You're going to redo the other color to make like it was there before. Okay, so let me get back into this. Let me get back into this. Okay. First of all, today is the 317th day of the year. 3, 1, and 7, okay, or 7 months of 31 days, equaling to 217 days. It brings it down exactly to 217. Where am I? 217 by multiplying 7 by 31. 3 by 17 is 51. 51 is Barack Obama. Okay. 51st day of the year, February 20th, coming to the end of the first week of the last moon, the 28th of February. Because I work everything from the beginning. I'll go a couple of months back, maybe a year, or I'll just go back to the last month and say it started on the 1st. Unless you want me to look from today, I'll start from today. But it doesn't matter. Cycles never change. The only thing that changes is the evolution. The evolution of a dinosaur went from in and out. And the evolution of the money went from in and out. You understand? Money, evolution of who we are, of the billions of years, is in and out the fucking toilet. Excuse my language. Because the reality is, one guy makes a tiny mistake at the beginning of all this, and everything drops by 2 zeros. Why? How much money do you have? No, I don't want to know about your change. So once you pass a buck, you know what I'm saying? You don't count the zeros anymore, the change. So you drop 2 zeros from everything. Well, however the light comes into us, regardless of the formation, I think, guess what? This is another thing I learned today. Let me finish about the queen. No, I have to do this on these 2 eggs. 2 eggs meat. About the queen and stuff. So she can't take part in this, but she knows at the end she's going to have to come back to Canada, which I didn't see her doing anything. Unless it was the last 100 years she did nothing. Maybe she did a lot at the beginning and left us alone. And does whatever she does right now. You understand? It's a whole process. They can't go faster than the matrix system. So no matter what they know, they can do all the planning they want, for the hundreds and hundreds of years that they studied all these documents to what's going on in the Illuminati in the future. They studied these things. They were allowed. They couldn't implement it because there was no one to implement it to. There was no one in the world. And then they needed people to work. Make sure we checked everything. Make sure we did is whatever we did, that it can be like a hands-on operation. You walk in, you press a button, and you get a couple of repairmen, and you fix it in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? America, Canada. So the Queen, yeah, so she's not allowed to do anything, and I don't know. Then why is she here? You know why? I mean, I don't get the whole thing. Why? Like, you know what? Because if they would have told us about God so well 1,000 years ago, we'd never get to the computer age. You know that? If God came down to Earth 500 years ago, we wouldn't have airplanes. If God was here 300 years ago, we still wouldn't have a good airplane. If God was here 200 years ago, we'd be thinking about how to fly like the birds still. Okay, we're always in the sky. But we still didn't have anything till anything got to be right. Oh, what is that? Orville Redenbacher? Is he popping or flying? This was supposed to be about you. So let's say 75 years ago. What plane really went good 75 years ago? It's only the last 30 years. But it doesn't last for long because the matrix has vines. This is what my vision is. The energy vines, and they're giving up. And it's going to relocate the entire Earth. It happens all the time. Didn't it say the Mayans 25,000? Maybe it was only 2,500. And 2,500 is 1/4. We're in 1/4. Monopoly's 40 by 5. That's 200. We're in the bicentennial right now. 40 equals times 5 equals 200 is a bicentennial. Now I'm going to show you a picture. Can I get a drink? I got to get a drink. You don't mind? I'm going to get into whatever you want. This is so much fun. Oh, okay. Let's see where I was. Anyways, let me get back to this for a second. You see the mole sitting on top of the hat? The gravity that pushes against us? That's the mole. He steals all your information. He's listening. He's sitting at the edge of the roof. Okay? And they go from roof to roof to roof to roof to roof to roof. They keep switching places. They're always carrying a little bit of information at a time. And it sits on that end, and obviously it can't be at this end. All he has to hear. So you see your head's on an angle because we are on an angle. You don't get it, eh? Just because you feel straight. Listen, I want to tell you something. I've been into certain places since I captured this rare intelligence disorder. That's what I call it, bipolar, the rare intelligence disorder. Now we can go to places we've never been before. Thousands of years behind into the past. I can go back 1 million, 2 million, 8 million. I can go back 20 million years. And so could you. Just look back in the computer to something about 20 million years ago. You'll read it. You'll know what they told you. You'll know what they told you. You'll know. And if they were alive, they'd say, yeah, I know the same thing. Now that you both know, now you've known 20 million years in the past. Now all of a sudden, it happens again and it becomes a coincidence. And oh my God, wow, I love it. This is great. It's not a coincidence. It's a coincidence, but the fourth time you bump into the same person, oh my God, I've been wanting to ask you. Fuck, what did I think? 1, 2, 3 to the wanting to ask you. So between the 3 and the 4 of wanting to ask her is where you now unite. in between A, B, and C. Whatever we do in mathematics, we do in physics of relation between yourself. See the way I move my head aside? There's that big orange spot, and when I move it back, the pictures that are around me, they're my brain. Do you see all the pictures around me? The orange spot? I move into it. Here I am. What angle am I on? I'm connected to all those pictures. Do you see what each picture does? Each picture turns within each picture. One might turn 3 times on the top left. The other one will just flick forward like a minute clock. The one above my head with the 3 and 3 and 2 in the center side. It's a Miss Piggy. Hey, little Miss Piggy. Yes, Mr. Kermit. How's it going? I like Big Bird. I'm not trying to imitate their voices. I'm trying to do who I feel like. And if you see on this side of my head, there's an orange spot, and right up here, right here, there's a gray spot, which is like an eye, and then the wing. Then there's a picture up here with the Mayan man right here. The Mayan man's right here. That blue mouth. He's got a piece of the puzzle missing from his nose. That's what I was always thinking. You know that? That when you make a design like this, okay, it's a corner angle, right? Whatever the amount. That's a nose. Okay, so now if you draw this piece came out of here. If I flip this back in, it'll fill up this piece. I didn't design it exact, but it's like God, he's like, the man is like a beggar. He's not a beggar at all because it's just a piece of the circle. A piece of the pie falls out. Guy looks like a beggar. Put a little eye on the guy. Someone from the sky is now looking in. Anyways, let me tell you this other thing. I found 2 eggs. I looked at the first egg. I looked at the second egg. I looked at the first egg. I looked at the second egg. I said, you guys both look different. I go, what are your names? The first one says, I'm over on Ryan Street. I says, what street? Over to the left? An ovary, you're an egg. Wow. I looked at the second egg and I said to the second, I go, what are you? I said, you look like a knight in shining armor. What can you be? He says, I'm the sperm egg. Ah, you're the sperm egg. Do you understand? What does the sperm whale do? What does it look like? They're both eggs. They're both consistent to a protein of what they call the 10 gene. You know what the 10 gene is? They are everything except for the material that it takes to sew it together. And the one who sews it together, however you will turn out. But you will only be sewn together for the body that will work for the mind that you have. If they try to make a body that's not a body that's adaptable and they don't use the right stitching, you won't make it into this world. They screw you up. They try to change us up. Aldous Huxley, they want to change us. We're in the R world, my friends. M-A-R-S. Because why? It's the world of love in French. The M letter is 2 sticks and a V in the center. And you can go see it at every single McDonald's. 456, it says Federation Galactica of Bell. Is it of Bell or Kelly? So I'm playing this right now because it's in the 2 section of 2, 5, and 8. But you can also go 2, 5, 8 once, 2, 5, 8 twice, 2, 5, 8 sold. Now the man gets 2, 5, 8. That means he got what he first bid for. Do you understand me? First the bid comes out as 2. That's the item. Then they go to 5. And they go to 10. Then they go to 14. Excuse me, 2, 5, 8, 11. But 11 repeats the 2. And then you go to 14. 14 repeats the 5. Because back one up, go one forward. Then you got 14, then you got 17, which repeats the 8. 7 and 1 is 8. Now you got 17, then you got 20. 22 plus 0 is 2. It repeats the first one. So now what do you get? 22 busts. You come into life in blackjack, you bust, but in roulette, you got paid off 35 to 1. Where do you want to put a bet? You can put it on 4 corners. Why can't you put it on 5 corners? Because the 5th corner is A, B, C, D, E. E joins the 2 worlds. The only place you can do this, okay, is in North America roulette. NA. You can now do this by the 0, 00, 1, 2, and 3. It's the only way you can do it. So what is that number? Do you understand? It's a bet, I think, that pays 7 to 1. Or is it 6 to 1? 6 to 1. Yeah, 6 and 1 would be 7. Okay, I think it's 6 to 1. I hope I'm not wrong. 6 to 1. I hope it's right. 6 to 1 is the face of man. 0. Spirit, angel, and man is the expression of spirit, beta, alpha, and the creation. Why is it 3 zeros? Well, it's simple. The first 0 shows up on a 10 on the left. The second 0 shows up as a 20 in the middle. And the third 0 shows up at 30 on the right. 10, 20, 30. TTT, trust the truth of the tic-tac-toe. And come on, baby, bring the cat in the house. Dog's ready to go. Where did our dogs come from? And our cats. Did you ever really look at a goat? I'm trying to think. Those are the nicest titties I've ever seen are goats' titties. They're like one big nipple. In fact, there are 2 of them. They're like 2 spaceships. So when I look at them, it sort of reminds me of something I really liked once when I was young. I just don't know what it was. Imagine if those were dicks, and they weren't tits, and they were really dicks. You'd have 2 dicks. I mean, they're squeezing out white milk. I mean, maybe that's cum or something. Maybe you keep squeezing the cum out of the cow. Maybe the 2 cuds that the cow is chewing is because she's both female and male. And every gallon of milk you ever drank in your life is actually sperm. What color is the protein? What color is your milk? Hey, cow, what you doing? You a girl or a guy? When she has a baby, she goes, move over, baby. I'm having another one. And they're all laughing like little girls, of course, the cows, because if you got 4 tits, you got to be 1/4 of everybody's age. So that's why they don't make it very long. You know what I'm saying? Pig's got 20 tits, and in 5 years, the guy's gone. Okay, so let me get back to wherever I was. I wanted to show you, I went to McDonald's. And on one side, it was all dark. And it said on the top, day, said day. And this one was a quarter like moon. So I thought it was night. So I turn it over, and I says, look, oh, they're rocking me in the cradle. Or it's half my voice. Or it's half of me. Or it's a boat, and we're in a race. And this is I just have to turn the sails on this, and we're going to go. And here's the other boat coming up from behind. And we all become trapped, one boat after the next, as we're flying in the sky. Here's your street at 2, 5, and 8. Beep, beep. 258 east-west. 258 east-west. 258 east-west. Or we can be running it like that, which is a 4-on-4 highway, if you want to call it. Even the Highway 15 cuts on in. The other one of the U worlds, how does the U world work? Where's that design? Here. Part of how the U world works is, look, in order to be able to live with the other world and the energy, if you were doubled in this world, how do you double? You see this? This and this connects to this, which connects to this, which connects to this. Your hand does the same thing. This is a U. It's free. It's just like the ovaries I was telling you before. It's free. It's something separate. This connects you both to the same element. I don't know how you can call it. That's part of the U world. I still think that somewhere in Asia, New Zealand, underneath the ground, they're trying to change us. They're trying to make us into stronger people. And at the same time, we're into the part of the game where I don't like to say these words, but it's the end. It's the end. It's the end. It's the end, my friend. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. 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 And you know what? You see this card? We have to take care of the problem. We need to fix the problem. See, now we're okay. See? It's got both sides covered now. Before it was no good. They were both upside down. Now you see he's looking out one way, he's looking in the other way. Now what you do to these guys, because they're going to be teaming up, the only thing you really want to do with them is, I'm going to cut my fingers off soon, but anyways. More or less like this is the way it's supposed to look. You see the road on this angle? No more head. Okay. I didn't even find that thing I was going to do for what's his name, but I'm going to do another video. What happened in this video? You know what? This sucks. For me, personally, I didn't give enough into it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But it doesn't matter. Someone's going to change it. You are going to change whatever you think and how you like about it, and you're going to say, fuck, I wasted 3 minutes today. So if I make too many of these bad reports, unless you're studying the information whenever I'm saying, then you want to know as much as you could, and you don't care what I'm saying. As long as I'm talking, you're happy with the vibration that I'm giving you right now. So if you're happy, you're happy. Raphael 7286. I got to go do some painting. Ciao.